Hi, hello. I'm Auntie Red, and welcome to my channel. I got to go to an amazing bookstore yesterday called McKay's. If you are in Tennessee or North Carolina, you may have one near you. Nashville, Chattanooga, I think Knoxville, Winston-Salem, and Mebane, North Carolina. So I went to the Mebane store. I had $57 in credit or so. I thought I had 80, but I forgot to look at my little tickets that they give you to show you how much credit you actually have. But I got a stack of books. I'm prepping for my August read of the Seeley Challenge, which is reading a book of poetry per day, each day in August. I like to get physical copies of books and have them available to me. Hi, there's Phoebe. In physical form. And so every year I go and stock up before August. Hello. Yeah. So I have about 12 books of poetry that I got yesterday, and then another 3 or 4 that I got from a thrift store a few weeks ago, again in preparation for August. I'm gonna go through those. I also got some novels, which I'm very excited about. They are things that I've heard a lot about. One is a rando that I've never heard of, but it sounded interesting, so I wanted to get it. So let's start with the poetry books first. Most of these authors are new to me, so that's exciting. I love discovering new poets in my August reading of poetry. So the first one is Covet by Linnell Edwards. I can't tell you anything about it. I don't know her. I don't know her writing or who she is or what she's done. And the back of the book doesn't tell me a whole lot on that one. So this is Covet by Linnell Edwards, published by Red Hen Press. Next we have Kate Daniels, the Niobe poems, which I'm excited about because Niobe is, I believe, a mythological creature or person from Greek and maybe Roman mythology. So I need to read up on Niobe first, but this book of poems from Kate Daniels by University of Pittsburgh Press. Next, At Night by Lisa Ciccarello. I love the cover on this one. And did I mention that most of these poetry books were 75 cents? What? When the cover prices are like $16 or $17, and a couple of these I was considering buying from Amazon. I'm sorry, I don't like buying from Amazon, but sometimes I do. But I made a book list on Amazon that I didn't actually end up purchasing, and a couple of these I found for 75 cents at McKay's. So that's always going to be my first stop in the future. Anyway, At Night. Told in an age we can't quite put our finger on, the poems in Lisa Ciccarello's debut collection twist up from tales of witchcraft and the punishing morals of the Newgate calendar. Vulnerable in the darkness as the dead watch behind salt-lined windows, we are led to explore a world of simple objects through a complex fog of cruelty and longing, strength and feebleness, folklore and familiar traditions. Violence, love, death, jealousy, sex, and shadows fill the pages of At Night. I'm here for it. Next up, this is one of the ones I saw on Amazon that I almost bought. What Kind of Woman by Kate Baer. Kate Baer challenges her readers to consider their grandmother's cake, the taste of the sea, the cool swill of freedom. Cats. Through poems that are as unforgettably beautiful as they are accessible, Kate proves herself to be an exemplary voice in modern poetry. Her words make women feel seen in their own bodies, in their own marriages, and in their own lives. Her poems are those you share with your mother, your daughter, your sister, and your friends. So, What Kind of Woman? Kate Baer. Next up, It Was a Terrible Cloud at Twilight by Alessandra Lynch. Some books sit down and talk to you. Alessandra Lynch's It Was a Terrible Cloud at Twilight is a vision. If you find yourself immediately in some vivid, chill season near the end of the world, maybe in the dark wood, where the hardest of fairy tales took place. This book's a little beat up. It's got some staining on the back, but I'm looking forward to this if it has folklore and darkness and poetry. I'm here. Next, we have The Eternal City by Kathleen Graeber. With an epigraph from Freud comparing the mind to a landscape in which all that ever was still persists, The Eternal City offers eloquent testimony to the struggle to make sense of the present through conversation with the past. Questioning what it means to possess and to be possessed by objects and technologies, Kathleen Graeber's collection brings together the elevated and the quotidian to make neighbors of Marcus Aurelius, Klaus Kinski, Walter Benjamin, and Johnny Depp. Like Aeneas, who escapes Troy carrying his father on his back, the speaker of these intellectually and emotionally ambitious poems juggles the weight of the private and public history as she is transformed from settled resident to pilgrim. And then a thicker one, most of these are a little less chunky than this. This is Our Andromeda by Brenda Shaughnessy. Playful musicality and deadpan humor meld with blunt questions and a plea for an alternate galaxy in which merciful do-overs are possible. In this imagined world, the speaker has a band of sisters, enough to fight with and still have plenty to confess to, access to past and future selves, and finally, a chance to protect her newborn baby from irrevocable harm. Throughout these poems, Shaughnessy blasts apart our typical expectations while she maintains the familiar and consoles sufferers in the real world of hostile truths. So that's Our Andromeda. Next is one that I think I've heard of, but never really thought about. And again, this one is super chunky, but it's called Adultolescence, written and illustrated by Gabby Hanna. Gabby Hanna is a web-based comedian and vlogger known for her YouTube channel, The Gabby Show. I've never heard of her. I'm sorry. I think I might have heard of this book, but I can't tell you for sure if I have or not. In poems ranging from the sing-song rhythms of children's verses to a sophisticated confessional style, Gabby explores what it means to feel like a kid and an adult all at once, revealing her own longings, obsessions, and insecurities along the way. It has, that page doesn't have any. It has illustrations throughout by the author. So I'm looking forward to that one. It looks like it'll be pretty easy to read. It's not packed together on the pages. A lot of the poems are pretty short. And so I think I'll be able to get through it in a day, maybe a weekend day when I don't have anything else going on. Next up, this one was definitely in my Amazon queue, and I was so excited to find it for 75 cents versus the $8 I was going to pay Amazon. So 75 cents for one of my favorite poets. Lord of the Butterflies by Andrea Gibson. Andrea Gibson is a non-binary poet who does a lot of spoken word poetry. They are just amazing. I've read a couple of their books already. Andrea Gibson's latest collection is a masterful showcase from the poet whose writing and performances have captured the hearts of millions. With artful and nuanced looks at gender, romance, loss, and family, Lord of the Butterflies is a peak in Gibson's career. Each emotion here is deft and delicate, resting inside imagery heavy enough to sink the heart while giving the body wings to soar. So, Lord of the Butterflies, super looking forward to this one. Now, I've got a few here that, again, I've never heard of the authors. I honestly try to avoid white men when I'm reading for August, but I couldn't pass up 75 cents for a book of poetry. So these three are three of those. First up, Looking for the Gulf Motel by Richard Blanco. Oh, well, he's Latino, so he's not a white man. So he explores themes of Latino identity and place. Richard Blanco's speech invites the reader in with its search for home. His lyrics open doors onto his Cuban immigrant family, his father's early death, and his own migration from a life in Florida to a life in Maine. Oh, I have more cats going on around me. Well, the same cat, Phoebe, and then Winnie over here just tried to attack her. Next up, The Waters of Forgetting. Now, I got this one because of the cover, but now that I'm looking at it, it's not just spilled water. It's actually a reflection of somebody in the bathtub. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a person right there reflecting from the empty bathtub. So that's interesting. The Waters of Forgetting by Barry Seiler. In The Waters of Forgetting, Barry Seiler brings together poems that spring from the tensions between memory and forgetting, the past and the present, the daily and the eternal. Whether he is writing about his family or popular music or the violent horrors of our age, Seiler's poems are always concerned with time, the difficulties of living in it, and living with it. Moving through these various histories, both personal and public, Seiler juxtaposes small moments with great events, trying to find the connecting threads that will pull the pieces into a form we can make sense of and live by. This is an older book, I believe, from 1994. So some of these are older, but worth it. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not a white man also. So I was wrong about how many white male authors I picked up. This is Cardinal by Tyree Day. Throughout, Day investigates where Black people can find safety in a racist America, while memorably cataloging each area's complexities and rewards in quiet, nuanced meditations. Sorry, I had to read that closely because it's red on brown text. It's very difficult to read. So again, Tyree Day, Cardinal. Now, books that I got the other day or a few weeks ago from the thrift store. It's a local one to me here in Durham. It is called Scrap Exchange. They started out as a creative reuse store and have expanded into being a creative reuse store and a regular thrift store. So I picked these up at the thrift store. So this one is called Modern Life by Mathea Harvey. Mathea Harvey's vision of America is spooky, apocalyptic, and beautiful, proof that there is wonder even in a dark time like ours. That's from George Saunders. I don't have much to say about this. I do like the cover. The domino with the weird bacteria looking things. They look like bacteria, like a little petri dish. And the back has more of the same. So that's interesting art. Next up, we have Hope Tree by Frank Montesanti. Training, cutting, removing the language of Hope Tree in Frank Montesanti's erasure moves through the seasons. Every erasure uncovers, we all know this, and we know that properly pruned trees bear more fruit. So he's an erasure poet. So like, for example, we have this, where you can see big blanks on the page. There's no blackout poetry, it's just erasure. Taking something that's already been written and erasing pieces of it. So that is fascinating, and I'm excited to read this. Next up, we have Sugartown by David Rivard from Grey Wolf Press. The unflinching and vibrant collection by David Rivard, whose poetry, quote, leaves me with a desire to be permanently friends with this mysterious kind of grace, end quote. The poems in Sugartown unwind with speed and urgency, detailing with fierce candor and mischievous humor an America that is utterly of this moment. David Rivard shows us the life we live now, its mysteries, as well as its costs. There are wild forays into the skeptical but still hopeful imagination. So, Sugartown. Next, I have the thicker books that I got at the thrift store a few weeks ago. I got 2 nonfiction books. First of all is My Time Among the Whites, Notes from an Unfinished Education by Janine Capot-Crusette. And this is a book of essays, which I love essays. This Amber Tamblyn says, My Time Among the Whites is a powerful book on the American experience that is both timely and still ticking, asking the reader to continue thinking past the book's pages and toward a better country where every kind of human being has the right to belong and thrive. A funny, intimate, important, and most necessary read. This was published in 2019, so not too long ago. The inside cover reads, What does it mean to find yourself a stranger in the country where you were born? Raised in Miami, the daughter of Cuban refugees whose aspirations for their child began with a plan to name her after a Miss America pageant winner, Janine Capot-Crusette grew up in a nation designed to exclude. Wry, candid, and fearless, My Time Among the Whites captures the sometimes hopeful yet deeply flawed ways in which many Americans have learned to adapt, exist, and, in the face of all signals showing otherwise, even thrive in a country that never imagined them here. So, Alexander Chee also blurbed this one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I love books of essays, especially essays by people with different backgrounds than me, so aka not white. I love hearing from people who are, people of color, who are immigrants, who are children of immigrants, who are I don't know, I just love essays of all sorts by all sorts of people, especially those who are different from me, so I can learn something and hear from a different point of view than the one that I have or the one of most people around me. Next up is another book of essays by Sarah Gerard. It's called Sunshine State. It has a cool cover. I like how the animals on the cover. This is a dynamic essay collection which explores Florida as a microcosm of the most pressing economic and environmental perils haunting our society. Again, publication date 2017, but probably a lot of stuff that's still relevant given the state of the country today. So, on to novels. These are all 4 ones that I got yesterday at McKay's. 3 of them I'd heard of, and 2 of them are like super popular everywhere. And the other ones, like I said, one I haven't heard of anywhere. And the other one I've heard of but haven't picked up yet. So first of all, They're There by Tommy Orange. Tommy Orange's wondrous and shattering novel follows 12 characters from Native communities, all traveling to the big Oakland powwow, all connected to one another in ways they may not yet realize. Yeah, together this chorus of voices tells of the plight of the urban Native American, grappling with a complex and painful history, an inheritance of beauty and spirituality, with communion and sacrifice and heroism. Probably you've heard of this. I hadn't actually picked it up. I had no idea what it was about, just that it was super popular. So I'm excited to get to read this. And then the most expensive book I bought yesterday at like $15. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Again, I'm not sure what this one's about. I just know I've seen it everywhere. In this exhilarating novel, 2 friends, often in love but never lovers, come together as creative partners in the world of video game design, where success brings them fame, joy, tragedy, duplicity, and ultimately a kind of immortality. Okay, sure, video games. I'm here for it. Next up, this one I love because it has somebody's annotations in it. I don't know if they've written anything. I didn't even look at that yesterday. No, they just marked the pages. So I'm excited to read and see if I agree with what they marked. But this is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. Sister, lover, traitor, hero. And this one is about, from Greek mythology, Ariadne was I think it's canon, that Ariadne was the daughter of the king who kept the Minotaur locked in a labyrinth. And then when Theseus comes, I couldn't remember if it's Theseus or Perseus. So when Theseus comes along to try to kill the Minotaur, I think Ariadne helps the Minotaur escape. Yeah, so, Greek retelling, I'm here. I'm down. Let's do it. And finally, the one that I'd never heard of before, Mermaids in Paradise by Lydia Millett. This was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize, so maybe I should have learned or heard about it. But it is about, I think, a couple. Yeah, honeymooners Deb and Chip befriend a marine biologist. A marine biologist discovers mermaids off the coast in a coral reef. A resort chain swoops in and wants to make them part of the attraction of the resort. And so the marine biologist and our couple, our main characters, are trying to stop that and not let the resort take over the mermaids and destroy the habitat and use them for money and all of that. Which of these will I read first? I don't know. I don't know. I've already made my July TBR. So maybe, I think Sunshine State is on my list for Herkyed too. The hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. That was Jasper in the background. Because I'm one of my personal challenges, my one personal challenge in that is to read the collections of essays that I have. And so I think I put this one on the list as part of my personal challenge. So that will be up for July, I believe. If not, I don't know. I'm saving the poetry for August, so maybe the poetry will be the first ones I get to. I don't know. That's it for me today. That was my haul. I've got 2 more books. Bury the Gaze by Chuck Tingle, which I got from Aardvark Book Club. And then another one that I can't remember. They're in there on the couch and I'm too lazy to get up and go get them and bring them back to show you. The other one is a sci-fi. Bury Your Gaze is for Herkyed. I've heard good things about Bury Your Gaze, good things about Chuck Tingle's non-erotica writing, non-dinosaur erotica writing. So I'm excited to read that one. All right. Well, happy reading. I'm off to finish reading The Trauma Cleaner on my phone because I have it. I can't find my Kindle. I don't know where my Kindle is. I think I know where my Kindle is. I just have to get it out and charge it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.